Hello, YouTube land. It's actually the same night because I'm drinking the same cider. This is actually a follow-up to my over cider Bane, my first over cider video. But I kind of missed out a couple of points I really wanted to make. And the most important point that I wanted to make was a comparison between comic book Bane, the real Bane, the canon Bane. This is the Bane. There we go. Against the two most famous representations of Bane. Those being the George Clooney Batman and Robin Bane. That movie. With Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy and obviously George Clooney, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sorry. For some reason that name always eludes me. Which is weird because I like him. I like him as an actor, I like him as a bodybuilder. Anyway, that's more for the over water videos. If I ever have to do those. Anyway, obviously that one, and then the newest version, the Tom Hardy in the Dark Knight series. With Christopher Nolan. I think it's called the Nolanverse? I've heard people refer to it as that. But whatever. And this is just my comparison of those two most famous versions of Bane to the comic book. Obviously, no movie will ever be able to compare with the comic book properly, especially with a character as complex as Bane. I mean, I honestly think that's why the Lobo movie didn't actually go through, and even the Iron Man movies kind of missed a bit over what Tony Stark is. But those are comments for different videos. So, anyway. Oh yeah, and the Hulk. But we'll leave that for another time. Right now it's about Bane. Alright, so let's look at the first one. Let's look at the original Bane. You've got someone who is hyper-intelligent, eidetic memory bordering on photographic, with complete recall, chemistry expert, biology expert, fluent in a multitude of languages. As well as that, although not an officially trained detective like Bruce Wayne, the Batman, he is clearly very analytical and is able to follow clues and hints and so that better than anyone else. I mean, he was the only DC villain to ever find out who Batman was. Especially in such a short space of time. It only took him like a month or so. And he was new to the city as well, so he didn't even know people that well. I think he just arrived like a week ago, so it took him, let's be fair, let's say 2 months. It took him 2 months to work out who Batman was. So that's a really intelligent, really analytical character. And let's also talk about his strategy skills. He is one of 2 characters who has ever beaten Ra's al Ghul, the guy that trained Batman, as well as an immortal, as well as considered the greatest strategist of all time. He's one of the only 2 people to ever defeat this man in a game of chess. He defeated him while he was engaged to Talia al Ghul. Sadly that fell through, poor him, woe is him. He didn't have anyone to thank their nether spawn anymore. The only other person to ever beat Ra's al Ghul is the Joker. And that's not because he's smart, that's not because he's strategic, that's not because he's a tactical genius, that's because he is just that insane. There is no way of working out what the Joker is going to do next. And that's why Ra's al Ghul lost to him. He had no idea what was going on. He'd never faced anyone like that. But anyway, Bane defeated Ra's al Ghul. So intelligent. Hyper strong. Without Venom, he can bench press 1,500 pounds. I think that's about 600 kilos. This is just off the top of my head, so I could be out by 100 kilos or so. But it's a big amount. It's well over half a ton, at least. And that's without Venom. With Venom, he can bench press 2 kilos. 2 tons, which is about 2,000 kilos. That's about 4 times his without Venom lifting weight. And just to kind of put that in perspective, that is bench press. Bench press only uses the bicep and the chest. There's no other muscles involved there. If he were to do it with his legs, you're looking at probably close to about 10 tons. Easy. And then when he's angry, when he's fully doped up on Venom, we're talking 3 tons. So we're getting towards 20 tons of maximum lifting weight, including his legs, arms, back, everything. Hell, even abs. He'd probably use his abs in a lift. I'm pretty sure he could kill someone by flexing his pectorals. That is how big Bane is. I mean, if anyone's read the comics, you know how big it is. You know how big those pectorals are. But anyway, let's look at the first one. The first comparison. There we go for, here is the benchmark. Here is what he is. Hyper intelligent, super strong, and basically a badass. Also a drug addict. There we go. Everyone's got to have a downside. Also, a bit of woe is me, where is my daddy? But to be fair, his dad left him in prison, so that's fair enough. He would have killed his dad, so that was kind of cool. The next one, you've got the George Clooney Batman and Robin Bane, where he starts out as a wee little guy. Literally nothing. I know guys that size, and there is nothing to them. There is nothing there. Then he gets put on Venom, and he becomes huge. He becomes 6'9". He becomes 6'9", 7 foot, easy, and huge. He also becomes a slathering beast who can only respond in monosyllabic tones, and is basically a puppy of Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy. Though in all fairness, it was that movie that made me start shipping Bane x Poison Ivy, but proper Bane and Poison Ivy. I might do a Bane romances video after this one, but we'll see. Might not, because that would be pathetic. I'll leave that to my crappy fanfiction. Anyway, but there we go. I mean, he's just a meathead. You've boiled... The writers of that clearly boiled down Bane to a henchman. Bane is not a henchman. Bane is the king. Bane is the king of Gotham City's underworld. And to boil him down to a hyper-strong henchman, that's an insult. I mean, I can't believe that DC was okay with that. But clearly they were, because they made a movie out of it, and it was successful, no matter what anyone says. I mean, that's what got me into... That, in all fairness, it was that movie that got me into comic books. But I always used to think that Bane was a slathering beast. That was it. I thought, oh, it's another Hulk. And then I read the comics, and it was like, what was wrong? What did they do? Why would they do this? This is an incredible character. Why did they not play with that? But I'll get to that bit after the Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, the Tom Hardy interpretation in the Dark Knight series was 1,000 times better. Oh my god, it was way closer to actual Bane than anyone has ever got. Even in the cartoons, it is so much closer. I mean, he is so intelligent. He is unbelievably smart. Too smart for his own good, if you ask me. Because the kind of stuff that he does, just... Oh my god, it really is. He's just so intelligent. It's great. It is Bane's intelligence. It's tactical genius. And his emotions as well. His feeling is there. It's Bane. Tom Hardy's Bane was probably the best Bane I've ever seen portrayed in movies, cartoons, and shorts. If anyone's got a link to a better Bane, please send it to me. I would love to see it, as a huge Bane fanboy. But that said, Tom Hardy, although he got the intelligence and the emotion dead on, he missed a key point with Bane's raw power. I mean, it's basically the opposite end of the George Clooney movie. It really is. Because now you've got this hyper-intelligent guy, who is still incredibly strong. Oh, he is unbelievably strong. He is big, for one thing. Well, the Bane is big, but Tom Hardy, he's 5'9", that's my height. Which makes me really happy about cosplaying Bane, to be honest. But anyway. So, you've got this hyper-intelligent character who is still strong. He probably is the Bane without Venom. But in that universe, the Venom is just an aesthetic for intense toothache, basically. I mean, it's more than that, obviously, if you've seen the movies. But it's what it is. It's a damaged jaw that he is in incredible pain. So it's anesthetic. And as such, that allows him to access greater levels of power because he no longer feels pain. So that's a really clever angle. But it's not Venom. It's not Bane. I want to see a movie with real Bane. Where Bane is the only villain. The true villain. The big bad. I want to see him snap Batman's spine. I want to see Batman broken and bloody and twisted beyond belief. I want it where Alfred is begging him to stop, where his soul is broken beyond belief, and Batman still comes back. The Nightfall series would make a better Batman movie than anything I have ever seen be turned into a movie or a cartoon. That's what I want to see. And any Batman fan out there who got into it because of Nightfall, who started with Nightfall, has got to agree with me. A Nightfall movie across all 3 comics would be amazing. Wow, that got really serious. Sorry, guys. See you next time for Over Cider. Have fun and read comics. Well, just read.